February 2026 is a soul level turning point. This isn't just another month, it's a portal. With a karmic full moon in Leo, an Aquarius solar eclipse, and a once in a lifetime Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, we are being reborn at the level of identity, purpose, and energetic alignment. In this video, we'll explore what each rising sign is being asked to release to become more of who you truly are, and how to rebuild from a place of soul-rooted truth. So find your rising sign, and let's dive into what February is here to clear, activate, and anchor into your life.
Aries rising. So this month, your power lies in leading your own revolution by breaking the rules you secretly outgrew. February is asking you to question every label you've outlived. You've changed, but have your connections, collaborations, and core goals caught up? With a bold Aquarius conjunction in your 11th house, you're no longer meant to blend in. You're meant to build what's never existed. This is a month of shedding roles that kept you palatable and safe. The more you let your originality speak for itself, the faster the universe aligns new opportunities to meet you. Now, starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo in your 5th house, and it's opposing Pluto, Mars, Venus, and Mercury in Aquarius. Also, we have a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, this full moon is awakening the part of you that still craves to be fully seen, not just understood. It highlights the tension between your desire to shine creatively and the pressure to fit in with group dynamics or larger systems. The planets in Aquarius may be whispering, evolve or be left behind. But the Leo moon is reminding you not to abandon your joy just to be accepted. Chiron trining this moon from your 1st house invites radical self-healing. This is a moment to reclaim the identity you buried to make others comfortable. You're allowed to choose play, pleasure, and personal radiance without permission. Now, on February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 12th house. A softening of your heart begins with this aspect. Venus in the 12th invites gentle self-forgiveness, artistic solitude, and deep spiritual release. It's a powerful time for letting go of past heartbreaks and reconnecting to a more divine form of love, starting with how you treat yourself when no one's watching. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius will make a sextile to Chiron in Aries. So this is a green light to lead a movement that you once felt unworthy of starting. Whether it's launching a project, forming a community, or showing up as your full self, this aspect is empowering you to lead as you are, not who you thought you had to be. Now, on February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. With this energy, a disruption in your values may surface, especially around money, self-worth, or your contribution to a group. This is a course-correcting square that shakes you free from scarcity programming or any place you've been settling out of fear. You are meant to build value on your terms. On February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So this eclipse clears the stage for entirely new allies, communities, and purpose-aligned paths to enter your life. So expect a final severing from old, outdated group roles, online spaces, or collective identities that no longer feel like home. This is the beginning of a new legacy, and you are writing the blueprint. On February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. And since this is your 12th house, you're being called inward. So this is your time to rest, reset, and release the pressure to be on. Let your intuition speak louder than your to-do list. On February 20th, the Neptune and Saturn conjunction starts at 0 degrees of Aries. So this is a 12th to 1st house crossover. This is a once-in-a-lifetime initiation. Neptune dissolves what's no longer real. Saturn rebuilds from soul truth. And it's happening on the edge of your identity. Who you thought you were is dissolving. Who you're meant to be is being rebuilt. Trust the in-between and let this be your rebirth. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So this is across your 11th to 1st houses. This is an empowering aspect that gives you the courage to take action in alignment with your healing. Step into leadership, even if you still have scars. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So this is a beautiful time to revise your spiritual practices, reconnect with your higher self, and receive guidance through dreams or intuitive downloads. Old thought patterns are being rewired from the inside out. Finally, on February 27th, the sun will make a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So this is a mystical activation of your soul path. Your higher self is reaching out. Listen. The clarity you seek isn't logical. It's sacred. Trust your intuitive nudges more than outside advice. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this energy this month is first to let go of the need to belong to outdated groups. Your next level doesn't require your old identity to be accepted. Next is to use creative expression to reintroduce yourself to the world. Let your joy be your calling card. Next is to prioritize sacred solitude. Make space to hear your soul without the noise of the crowd. And finally, honor the wounds you've already healed and allow them to be your superpower. You are not starting from scratch. You're starting from wisdom. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I am not here to fit in. I'm here to lead with my light. My soul remembers the way forward. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you need to remember that you are the prize, be sure to grab my Venus Activation Prompt Journal. It's designed to rewire how you love yourself and what you expect in relationships. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Taurus rising. So this month, your power lies in choosing your sole purpose over your comfort zone. This is the month where you stop clinging to stability and start stepping into significance. February activates your 10th house of career, legacy, and long-term vision. But this isn't just about hustle. It's about alignment. If your outer world feels shaky, it's only because your higher self is editing your story in real time. You're being asked to rise, not just in status, but in integrity with your true purpose. The roles, responsibilities, and ambitions that no longer reflect your evolution are on their way out. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo. So this is going to highlight your fourth house. It's also making an opposition to Pluto, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, all in Aquarius in your 10th, making a trine to Chiron and Aries in your 12th. So this full moon cracks open the illusion of emotional safety that's kept you playing small. It brings to light the tension between your inner needs and your public image or career path. Have you built success on a foundation that no longer nurtures you? Then this full moon is going to highlight that. Now, the trine in the 12th house, this is going to help you to finally release the fear of losing control. It's okay to let go of the version of success you thought you needed. This is about emotional realignment with what feels like home, not just what looks good on paper. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 11th house. So, new friendships, soul groups, and dream collaborators are entering your orbit. This is a heart-opening transit that supports both intimacy and inspiration in community. Say yes to creative partnerships, visionary spaces, and dream-filled planning sessions. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius will make a sextile to Chiron in Aries. This brings an internal healing moment that helps you face imposter syndrome and outdated beliefs around success. Your next chapter requires more trust in the unseen, not just effort, but alignment. Let this be your permission slip to release pressure and reconnect with your why. On February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius will make a square to Uranus in Taurus. This square could bring a plot twist around your career, reputation, or public decisions. It's meant to liberate you from a false identity you've been clinging to. If something falls apart, it's because you're ready for a more authentic rise. On February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So, this is a powerful new beginning for your soul-aligned career path. This eclipse marks the end of pretending and the beginning of building a legacy that feels like home in your body. Expect surprises, breakthroughs, and irreversible upgrades in how you show up professionally. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So your attention shifts from career outcomes to soul-aligned networks. Who you're doing it with matters just as much as what you're doing. So reconnect with dreamers, visionaries, and creative collaborators who reflect the future you're calling in. On February 20th, we have the Neptune-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. So this is your 12th house, and this makes this a spiritual checkpoint. Something deep in your subconscious is completing a karmic cycle. You may feel like you're walking between worlds, but you're being rebuilt in silence. Let divine timing guide your next move. You are not behind. You are on the edge of a breakthrough. On February 22nd, Mars will make a sextile to Chiron. So this is your reminder that healing is your power. Owning your wounds, especially around career worth, visibility, or burnout, is going to help you to magnetize more authentic success. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So old friends, creative ideas, and past collaborators may resurface. This retrograde helps you to rewrite outdated group dynamics and clarify who you're meant to grow with. Let conversations evolve slowly. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So you are being divinely guided toward the future version of your soul circle. Who lights you up with inspiration? Who mirrors the version of you that's yet to be born? Follow those connections. They are the key to your destiny. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redefine success. Ask yourself, what if success was peace, purpose, and alignment, not just achievement? Next is to let go of false security. The systems that are falling apart were never meant to hold you this long. Next is to seek out new communities. You are not meant to rise alone. Start calling in your dream crew. And finally, give your nervous system time to catch up. This much growth can feel destabilizing, so be sure that you are grounding often. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I release the roles that no longer serve my soul's legacy. I rise by being real. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video some love with a like, hype this video, share it with your soul tribe, and subscribe for more magic. And if you're ready to reconnect with who you were before the world told you who to be, my As Above, So Within astrology journal will bring you back to yourself. All of my offering links are in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Gemini rising. So this month, your power lies in seeing life through a higher lens. This is a month of truth, vision, and expansion, but only if you're willing to think beyond your current reality. With so much planetary energy in your ninth house of higher wisdom, future plans, and long distance shifts, February is asking, what would happen if you stopped rehearsing your limitations and started trusting the bigger picture? You are not lost. You're being recalibrated. And this recalibration is shaping the next version of your purpose. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo, which is going to highlight your third house. It's also making an opposition to Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun, all in Aquarius in your ninth house. We also have a trine to Chiron in Aries in your 11th house. So this full moon is going to reveal where outdated mental loops are clouding your broader vision. You are ready to shift from reactive thinking to cosmic seeing. Pluto, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury in your ninth are radically rewriting what you believe is possible. If you're over-consuming information but underliving your truth, this moon may bring a breakdown moment that turns into a breakthrough. Chiron in the 11th offers support from friends, teachers, and soul-aligned communities. You are not meant to do this alone. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 10th house. So your career glow up begins here. Venus brings charm, magnetism, and creative alignment to your professional path. So this is a great time to showcase your artistry, pitch your ideas, or move toward a more heart-led version of success. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a sextile to Chiron in Aries. So, this is bringing a healing revelation about your place in the bigger picture. So, you may see how past rejections from groups or mentors shaped your current beliefs. This is your chance to release the residue and reconnect with your truth. On February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So, sudden spiritual downloads or intuitive jolts may arrive now. Something hidden in your subconscious is coming into awareness, and it might disrupt your current life plan. Let it. You are meant to evolve. On February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So, your worldview is being rewritten. This eclipse could bring opportunities to teach, travel, publish, or start a new path that feels deeply guided. Trust the direction, even if it doesn't make logical sense yet. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So the spotlight shifts to your career and reputation. What do you want to be known for now that your beliefs have expanded? This is your cue to align what you do with what you know to be true. On February 20th, we have the Neptune-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. So you are stepping into a new cycle of community, leadership, and influence. But to claim it, you must let go of old group wounds and visibility fears. This transit brings divine restructuring. Don't rush it. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. With this energy, your voice is medicine. So whether you're speaking, writing, teaching, or mentoring, now is the time to turn your pain into power and help others feel less alone. On February 26th, Mercury goes retrograde in Pisces. So, this energy is about pausing before launching, revisiting your mission, and using this as a time to edit, rebrand, and realign your external path with your internal wisdom. Past professional contacts may reach out, so don't ignore those nudges. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So you are being magnetized toward the future you were destined to build. This is a quiet yet powerful moment of soul clarity around your career and calling. So be sure that you are listening closely. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to upgrade your mindset. Stop rehearsing fear-based thoughts and start choosing the belief systems that set you free. Next is to say yes to the unknown. You don't have to have all the answers, and you also don't need them to begin. Next is to start creating what you're here to teach. You are the vessel for a bigger message. Use this time to get it out. And finally, let your path be guided, not forced. If doors are closing, it's only so better ones can open. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I trust what I know in my bones. My future is bigger than my fear. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss your next download. And if you feel like you're standing at a turning point in your life, a one-on-one with me helps you understand exactly what's happening and where you're meant to go next. Plus, I have over 10 different session types so we can zero in on what matters most to you. All of my links to my offerings are listed in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Cancer rising. So, this month, your power lies in reclaiming your energetic sovereignty. February calls you back into your power, not by pushing harder, but by choosing who and what has access to your energy. Now, with so many planets activating your eighth house of soul contracts, energetic entanglements, and deep transformation, this is a month for clearing. You are shedding the weight of who you used to be, and it's time to ask, what parts of my life still hold me hostage to my past? Now, starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo activating your second house. Now, this full moon is lighting up your self worth, value systems, and relationship with money. But it also reveals where your energy is being drained. The oppositions from Aquarius are pushing you to sever old karmic cords, whether they are emotional, financial, or sexual. Chiron is also trining from your 10th house to this full moon. This is showing that releasing what's not yours to carry clears the path to career empowerment and public success. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, your 9th house. So this brings a shift into beauty, expansion, and spiritual inspiration. Venus in your 9th house supports traveling, writing, studying, and reconnecting with a part of you that believes again. So expect divine timing and serendipitous insights. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a sextile to Chiron and Aries. So you are learning that power doesn't always look like control. It looks like alignment. This transit softens the edges of past career wounds and helps you to rewrite what authority, visibility, and success mean to you. On February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So, an unexpected friendship shift or group awakening could arise. If your community doesn't reflect your frequency, this may be the moment you pull away. Your future self needs room to breathe. On February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is your 8th house. So, this is literally a karmic reset. This eclipse is a spiritual initiation, shedding an identity, fear, or dependency that no longer matches your evolution. It may feel emotional, but this is a portal into liberation. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So, this is bringing a breath of fresh air. You are ready to zoom out, dream bigger, and let your soul lead again. This shift invites you to reconnect with your future vision, your spiritual path, and your inner wisdom. On February 20th, we have the Neptune-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. Since this is happening in your 10th house, your career is entering a destined new chapter. But this isn't just about what you do. It's about what you stand for. Saturn and Neptune bring both boundaries and dreams into your professional path. A soul calling is being formed. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So your deepest wounds may become the key to your public power. You're being asked to alchemize pain into purpose. The spotlight is not a threat. It's actually a platform for healing for you. Now, on February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So, this is a great time to reconsider any travel plans, any spiritual teachings, or educational goals. This is a time to reflect before you leap. You may also reconnect with an old mentor, path, or dream that deserves another look. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So the universe is lighting the path. If you've been questioning your purpose or direction, this moment brings a soul deep nudge toward the journey that's meant for you. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to cut energetic cords with your past. Not all attachments are meant to last forever. Next is to give your energy only to what uplifts your future. Anything draining you is no longer aligned. Next is to let your pain teach you power. Your healing is part of your legacy. And finally, reconnect with your soul's wisdom. You've always known. Now it's time to remember. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I protect my power and let it transform me. My future begins when I release the weight of my past. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if you love this, be sure to hit like, hype this video, spread the magic to your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if something in this video hit, that's your sign to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift your entire relationship with yourself. Plus, you can choose from over 10 personalized session types. All of the links to my offerings are in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. Leo rising. So, this month, your power lies in owning your radiance without apology. This month, you have a full moon in your sign. So, this is your moment to remember who you are, even in the midst of transformation. February is activating your first and seventh house axis. This is spotlighting your identity, your relationships, and the version of you that's emerging from the fire. The universe isn't dimming your light, it's refining it. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to choose. Now, starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo, and it's also making an opposition to Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun, all in Aquarius in your seventh house. It's also making a trine aspect to Chiron in Aries in your ninth. So, this is a major chapter close and rebirth. So, you may feel emotionally raw, but that's because you're releasing old roles, especially in love, business, and your own self image. Relationship dynamics that have felt imbalanced or soul draining are going to reach a climax. The trine to Chiron says, you're becoming the teacher now, the guide, the one who's walked through fire and turned it into wisdom. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, your eighth house. So your energy becomes more magnetic, sensual, and spiritually attuned. Venus here supports soul deep intimacy, financial transformation, and trust, but only with those who meet you where you are, not where you were. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a sextile to Chiron in Aries. So this is a moment of higher perspective. If you've felt let down in love or your support systems, this transit is going to help you to integrate the lesson and move forward with clarity. What you've learned about boundaries will now become part of your belief system. On February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So this is going to be across your 7th and 10th houses. Now, relationship changes may ripple into your career, or someone's expectations may clash with your purpose. Don't choose comfort over your calling. The version of you who is expanding can't fit into the old dynamics anymore. On February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So a new era begins in your relationships: romantic, platonic, and professional. This could be a karmic connection entering or exiting your life. You are rewriting the contracts of what partnership means, and it starts with the relationship you have with yourself. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So this is a time to go inward and deeper. This season softens your edges, it asks you to surrender, and it invites you to trust in divine timing. You are not supposed to control it all. You're meant to co-create with the universe. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees in Aries. So this once-in-a-lifetime alignment launches a long-term vision quest. It's not just about travel or learning. It's about your philosophy of life shifting. Dreams become commitments. Faith becomes structure. And the future becomes clearer. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So any conversations or discussions with a partner may activate old wounds, but also bring deep healing. You are reclaiming your right to freedom, to voice your truth, and to walk your own path. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. Since this is happening in your 8th house, pause before making financial commitments or emotional confessions. This is a time to reflect on past entanglements and finally get closure. An old partner or energetic tie may resurface for resolution. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun in Pisces makes a conjunction to the North Node in Pisces in your 8th house. So the universe is pointing you toward real soul growth. You're learning to let go of control, trust the unseen, and claim your energetic power. You are not meant to dim your light for safety. You are here to rise from your own ashes. Now, some of the best ways for you to utilize the energy this month is first to release the version of yourself that performed for approval. This month asks you to peel back the layers of performance and stand in your authentic essence. Who are you when you're not being liked? Who are you when you're not trying to earn a seat at the table? Let that version lead. Next is to reclaim your power in love and business. The Aquarius stellium in your 7th house may bring relationship dynamics, either romantic or professional, into sharp focus. If someone is projecting onto you, minimizing you, or trying to define your worth, it's time to remember you are the source. Take back your energy, close old contracts, and don't be afraid to renegotiate your role in a dynamic that no longer reflects your truth. Next is to let intimacy be sacred and not sacrificial. As planets shift into your 8th house, themes of trust, merging, and energetic exchange are going to arise. You are being asked to deepen, not lose yourself. Whether it's emotional, sexual, or financial intimacy, let this be the month you practice discernment. And finally, redefine success based on truth, not validation. With Uranus shaking up your 10th house and the Aquarius eclipse clearing out outdated roles, your public image or career path may be shifting. Let it happen. The version of success you once chased may no longer match your soul. Don't be afraid to evolve. Your real power lies in how honest you're willing to be with yourself. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is: I no longer seek permission to be powerful. My radiance is the revolution. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And if you loved this, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share this with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if something in this video hit, that's your sign to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift your entire relationship with yourself. And you can choose from over 10 different personalized session types so that you can zero in on what matters most to you. All of my offerings are listed in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Virgo rising. So this month, your power lies in honoring your healing as sacred. This month activates a profound transformation around your inner world, health, relationships, and subconscious blocks. February is calling you to release survival patterns, recalibrate how you give your energy, and rewire what you believe you deserve in relationships. You are not here to be useful. You are here to be whole. The way you move through your days is changing, not just practically, but spiritually. And you're being asked to trust that clearing space is an act of devotion to your future self. Now, starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo. So this is activating your 12th house. This powerful full moon is drawing you inward. Your 12th house governs the hidden, such as dreams, intuition, subconscious fears, and soul healing. You may feel emotionally sensitive, spiritually raw, or deeply reflective. This is an invitation to release the pressure of constant productivity, something you've been carrying in silence, such as burnout, grief, shame, or exhaustion, needs space to be witnessed. You can no longer ignore what your body, soul, or spirit has been trying to tell you. Now, on February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 7th house. With this energy, love softens and deepens. Venus here blesses your relationships, making space for compassion, connection, and spiritual romance. If you are partnered, this may bring more emotional tenderness or shared healing. If single, a soulmate-like connection could emerge, or you may reconnect with yourself in a more loving way than ever before. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a sextile to Chiron in Aries. So this is going to be across your 6th and 8th houses. With this energy, a moment of clarity arrives around your healing journey, especially where your physical health or emotional labor intersects with your sense of worth. You are learning that you don't need to earn your rest or prove your usefulness. Let this transit remind you, being is enough. Now, on February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So you may feel a sudden urge to break free from limiting beliefs or obligations that keep your life feeling small. So whether it's a job shift, a health revelation, or a mindset that no longer serves you, don't resist the change. Uranus wants to liberate you. Your truth is bigger than your to-do list. On February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So this brings a reset in your daily life, routines, or well-being. Eclipses bring irreversible change. And this one asks, is your life designed for sustainability or burnout? Let this be your moment to reimagine what true vitality looks like for your body, your schedule, and your soul. On February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. So your focus continues to be around relationships. So whether it's a romantic partner, business collaboration, or a soul contract, February's second half is about creating balance and spiritual alignment with the people closest to you. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. So this is a karmic gateway. You're being asked to release control, redefine trust, and build a more spiritually aligned foundation around intimacy, shared resources, and energy exchange. This is the beginning of a brand new 30-year cycle around how you merge and transform. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So use this time to take aligned action in your healing. So whether it's ending a cycle of overworking, reclaiming your body, or taking a leap toward emotional liberation, this is your moment to move from pain into power. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So expect relationship reflections, revisits, and redefinitions. Don't rush clarity. This retrograde is about noticing how communication patterns, especially passive tendencies or overaccommodation, have shaped your relationships. Rewrite the narrative. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. Your soul is guiding you toward more aligned, reciprocal relationships. This transit may reveal the kind of partnership you truly want, or give you the courage to walk away from one that no longer reflects your worth. This is destiny work. Trust what your heart is being pulled toward. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to listen to your body's truth, not your calendar. If you've been ignoring rest or spiritual needs for productivity, it's time to reclaim your rhythms. Next is to let go of perfection in healing. Chiron in your 8th says, healing isn't linear. Let yourself grieve, purge, and feel without judgment. Even in the mess, you're making room for miracles. Next is to soften into connection, not codependence. With the 7th and 8th house emphasis, love is in focus, but so are your patterns. You're learning that intimacy isn't about merging entirely. It's about meeting in wholeness. Practice presence over people-pleasing. And finally, redesign your daily life for soul alignment. The Aquarius eclipse is your permission to change it all. Routines, work, habits, and health. It's time to build a life that sustains you, not one that drains you. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I release what drains my light. I honor my healing, protect my energy, and design a life that reflects my soul. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it stirs something in you. Hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to stay tapped in. And if you're tired of guessing and ready for real clarity, be sure to book a one-on-one with me. One session will change how you see yourself forever. Plus, I offer over 10 different session styles to match what you actually need. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Libra rising. So this month, your power lies in honoring your sacred creativity over performative perfection. This month calls you back to the joy, play, expression, and passion that make you feel alive. February isn't just about feeling good. It's about healing what's kept you from feeling at all. The universe is guiding you to express yourself in a way that's raw, real, and unfiltered, and to trust that your worth isn't tied to how digestible you are. The spotlight is shifting from being palatable to being powerful. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo activating your 11th house. This full moon is a soul checkpoint around friendship, community, and future visions. You're seeing clearly who's really aligned with your growth and who just feels safe to stay small with. This full moon is asking, what version of you have you been hiding from the world to maintain peace? On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 6th house. So you're being asked to bring beauty, gentleness, and grace into your daily work and rituals. This is a time for sacred devotion, not self-sacrifice. Your worth is not your output. Let this be the beginning of a new relationship to service, one that supports your well-being as much as it supports others. On February 12th, the Sun makes a sextile to Chiron. So this brings a powerful opening for healing old fears around self-expression and romantic visibility. You may realize that you've held back your creativity or pleasure to avoid rejection. This is your green light to create, share, love, and trust that your desires are valid. On February 16th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So expect a shock to your creative or romantic life. Something may disrupt your sense of emotional security, but it's not a setback. It's an awakening. You're being pushed into deeper authenticity, especially in intimacy, art, and desire. Let the discomfort guide you to your next evolution. On February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So this is your creative rebirth. This eclipse marks a bold, electric new beginning around how you share your gifts, open your heart, and let yourself be seen. So whether it's a new artistic venture, a romantic chapter, or a reconnection to what brings you happiness, it's happening fast and it's irreversible. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So your attention is shifting from what brings you joy to service, but not in a draining way. This is your reminder to align your lifestyle with your soul. Daily routines become sacred acts. Wellness becomes a gateway to your devotion, and you're learning that service to others must include yourself. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries in your 7th house. So this is a karmic milestone in your relationships. Patterns around enmeshment, projection, and abandonment are dissolving. You may feel like you're building a new template for love, but it's from the soul, not from the wound. Trust that clarity is forming, even if it's slow. This is long game healing since Saturn is involved. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So, this is an invitation to take brave action in the name of healing. So, whether it's expressing a boundary, creating from your wounds, or showing up fully in partnership, this transit reminds you that your courage is medicine. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So use this time to pause, review, and refine. Health, schedules, boundaries, and routines all come up for reevaluation. This is not the time to overwork or overgive. Tend to your nervous system. Let miscommunications point you toward more sustainable ways of supporting yourself and others. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So don't overlook the small things. They are guiding you to your higher path. So a job, habit, or service role may become a turning point. You are aligning with what your future self needs now. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to reclaim your joy without apology. This is not the month to shrink your light. Follow the creative nudges and speak the bold truth. Don't worry about being understood. Worry about being honest. Next is to cleanse your daily habits with care. With so much energy in your sixth house, you're being called to shift from burnout to balance. Choose rituals that nourish you. Say no without guilt. Next is to let love evolve. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction is helping you to build relationships based on truth and not projection. Be willing to let the old love stories dissolve so that a new one can rise from reality. And finally, speak what your inner artist needs. Whether it's emotional, romantic, or creative, this month is asking for expression. Your feelings are valid. Your vision is sacred. And your silence is no longer serving you. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is: I honor my joy, my truth, and my path. I no longer shrink my light to be understood. I was made to create, to connect, and to rise. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, your 3-second ritual. Be sure to like this video, hype this video, share it, and subscribe to keep this energy coming your way. And if something in this video hit, that's your sign to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift your entire relationship with yourself. And you can choose from over 10 different session styles to match exactly what you need. All of my links to my offerings are in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Scorpio rising. So this month, you're paralyzing, rewriting the story of what home and success really mean to you. This month activates your emotional roots, your creative expression, your service, and your public image. That's a full recalibration of your inner foundation and your outer trajectory. But the truth is that you cannot build a future on a foundation that was never safe. February is less about pushing forward and more about healing backward. You're being invited to liberate yourself from inherited narratives around worth, creativity, work, and belonging so that you can lead from a place of emotional truth, not performance. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo lighting up your 10th house. This is a career culmination with deep emotional roots. A chapter in your professional life may be closing, but not because you failed. It's because your soul is ready for more. The full moon lights up your 10th house of legacy, visibility, and leadership. But across the sky, the Aquarius stellium in your 4th house of home, family, and emotional safety is unearthing what still needs healing. The question is, have you built your success on someone else's definition of stability? Now, on February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 5th house. So, this brings a wave of romantic, creative, and soulful energy. Venus here awakens what brings you happiness, it softens your heart, and it reminds you that you are magnetic when you're unfiltered. So, whether this is a new relationship, creative project, or a reconnection with pleasure, this time is sacred. Let yourself be seen in your softness. On February 12th, the sun makes a sextile to Chiron. So, this is going to be across your 4th and 6th houses. This brings a moment of quiet healing. You may realize that your daily habits or even your burnout are rooted in emotional patterns from childhood. This is your opportunity to rewrite how you care for yourself, starting with what you no longer owe anyone else. On February 16th, the sun in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So, this can bring a shakeup within your relationships that may reflect something deeper, such as your evolving emotional needs. You are allowed to change, and you're also allowed to want more. So, if a partnership or dynamic feels unsafe, unsupportive, or misaligned, it's time to choose your inner stability over external expectations. Now, on February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is your 4th house. So, this eclipse is a soul reset around home, family dynamics, and the emotional foundation you're building from. So, whether you are moving, cutting ties, or healing ancestral traumas, this is a deep initiation. You are not repeating history, you are rewriting it. On February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. So, this again is around your creativity, romance, and self expression taking center stage. This is your reminder that happiness is a portal, not a distraction. Let your inner artist, inner child, and inner lover speak freely. Their voice is guiding your next chapter. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. This is taking place in your 6th house. So you are starting a new karmic cycle around health, healing, and work. This isn't just about productivity. This is about purpose. You're learning how to bring your vision into your daily life in sustainable, sacred ways. Structure your magic. Make space for your softness. Let your routines reflect your rebirth. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So, this is about taking action to heal your roots. This could look like a difficult conversation with family, a release of old roles, or a decision to care for your body like it's a temple. You don't need to be the strong one. You just need to be honest. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So, since this is happening in your fifth house, exes, old creative projects, or forgotten desires may resurface. So, use this retrograde to revisit any art, feelings, or past partners and ask, did I leave myself behind here? This retrograde is less about fixing and more about reclaiming the happiness that got buried. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces, also in your fifth house. So you are being cosmically guided toward your creative destiny. Your joy is your path. Your art is your purpose. And your authenticity is your magnetism. The more you express your soul, the more your future reveals itself. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to let the old version of success die. The Leo full moon is illuminating where you've clung to public validation over inner alignment. You don't need to uphold the legacy others expected of you. You're here to build one that's rooted in soul, not survival. Next is to heal your home within. The Aquarius eclipse is clearing out ancestral stories and inner child wounds. If foundations feel shaky, it's only because the universe is clearing space for something more aligned. Create the safety you never had internally. Next is to prioritize sacred self expression. Venus and Mercury in your fifth are reminding you that joy is not optional, it's essential. Make time for art, romance, and expression. You don't have to monetize it, you just have to honor it. Finally, rewrite your relationship to work and self worth. With Saturn and Neptune activating your sixth house, you're entering a new era of embodied service. Work doesn't have to mean burnout, and success doesn't require self abandonment. Choose wholeness over hustle. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I no longer build my future from fear. I rise by rooting into truth, joy, and the legacy I was born to create. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you need to remember that you are the prize, be sure to grab my Venus Activation Prompt Journal. It's designed to rewire how you love yourself and what you expect in relationships. All of my links are located in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks. Sagittarius rising. So, this month, your power lies in trusting the vision that only you can see. This is a month of spiritual awakening, truth telling, and recalibrating your inner compass. You're not just rethinking your direction, you are rewriting your entire narrative. The stories you've been told, the roles you've played, the beliefs that have quietly shaped your behavior. They are all up for reflection and release. On February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo activating your ninth house. So, this full moon is shining a light on your beliefs, worldview, and desire for deeper meaning. Something clicks or comes undone around your relationship to freedom, faith, and truth. So maybe you've outgrown a story that you once lived by. Or maybe you're finally ready to speak what's been burning in your chest. Now, on February 10th, Venus enters Pisces in your 4th house. So, with this energy, your heart wants softness. Home becomes a sanctuary, or it needs to. Venus here is inviting healing through emotional intimacy, nostalgia, and nurturing. Let your home reflect your future, not just your past. Beautify your space under this energy. On February 12th, the sun makes a sextile to Chiron. So you may have a healing conversation or a breakthrough around self-expression. Your voice, art, and truth matters. This is a green light to speak, write, or share, even if it scares you, and especially if it sets you free. On February 16th, the sun makes a square to Uranus. So this brings unexpected news, changes in your daily schedule, or health-related revelations. Now, this isn't a derailment. It's a realignment. Let this be the shakeup that reminds you your mind and body deserve more grace, not more pressure. On February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So this is happening in your 3rd house. An entirely new chapter begins around your voice, your ideas, and your ways of thinking. So this could be the start of a writing project, a new communication platform, or a radical mindset shift. Speak like it's sacred, because the universe is listening. On February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. So again, your energy is turning inward. The rest of the month is going to call for stillness, emotional integration, and inner resourcing. If you're feeling nostalgic, tender, or tired, it's by design. Let yourself be held. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. So this is taking place in your 5th house. Now, this rare alignment is initiating a long-term cycle around creative structure and romantic maturity. You're being asked to take your desires seriously, not from pressure, but from purpose. This energy is here for you to build the life you've only dared to dream about. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So, with this energy, you are taking bold action toward emotional truth. So, whether this is sending a message, publishing your story, or standing up for what makes you happy, this transit says, be brave. Your honesty is healing for you and others. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So, family conversations, old emotional loops, or unfinished business at home most likely will resurface. Be gentle with yourself. Reflect before reacting. Finally, on February 27th, the sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So, your destiny is rooted in emotional safety. This powerful alignment is asking, what kind of home does your future self need? So, whether it's an actual space, a chosen family, or a relationship with your inner child, go build it. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to reclaim your beliefs as your own. The Leo full moon is helping you to see where you've inherited philosophies that don't match your lived truth. Let yourself evolve and ask yourself, what do I believe now after everything I've lived through? Next is to speak what sets you free. The Aquarius eclipse and Mercury retrograde are inviting you to write, share, and express. Not for performance, but for liberation. Your voice matters, and your perspective has power. Next is to redefine home as a feeling, not a place. As Venus, Mercury, and the Sun move through your fourth house, home becomes a sacred theme. Let go of what never felt safe and reclaim the right to create emotional security on your own terms. Finally, ground your joy in intention. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction begins a cycle of devoted creativity. You're building a life where your passions have structure and your desires are prioritized. This is not frivolous, it's foundational. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I honor the wisdom I've earned. My voice is sacred. My home is within me, and I build it with truth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're ready to reconnect with who you were before the world told you who to be, my As Above, So Within astrology journal will bring you back to yourself. All of my links are listed in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Capricorn rising. So this month, your power lies in reclaiming self-worth as sacred, not earned. February brings a potent recalibration of your value system. This is a month for breaking scarcity cycles, redefining security, and rewiring your relationship with both money and meaning. But it's deeper than finances. It's about your sense of worthiness. Who told you your value had to be proven, justified, or delayed? This month asks you to stop striving for enoughness and start anchoring into it. You are already enough. Let that truth restructure your entire life. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo. So this is taking place in your 8th house. This full moon initiates deep emotional clearing. It highlights where you've been energetically entangled or emotionally indebted. So whether it's a financial tie, a sexual connection, or a lingering grief, something is being illuminated so it can be released. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, which is your 3rd house. So your words become softer, more poetic, and more magnetic. This is a beautiful time to initiate healing conversations. Journal your truth, or reconnect with your voice as a source of grace, not performance. Speak from soul, not strategy. On February 12th, the Sun makes a sextile to Chiron. So this is going to be across your 2nd and 4th houses. You could have a breakthrough around the roots of your worthiness. So a family memory, belief, or a core wound may rise to be released. Let your inner child lead the healing. What you value now may be completely different from what you were taught. And that's the point. On February 16th, the Sun makes a square to Uranus. So this is across your second and fifth houses. So this brings surprise shifts in creativity, romance, or finances that may shake your foundation. This is not instability, it's liberation. You're being shocked out of transactional self-worth and reminded that your happiness isn't something to earn, it's something to embody. On February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius happening in your second house. So, a new era begins around money, resources, and how you receive. This eclipse can mark the start of a new income stream, business model, or even identity shift around your value. Be open to surprises because you're being aligned with what is truly sustainable, not just what is safe. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces, your third house. So your focus is around communication, connection, and thought patterns. Now is the time to rewrite your inner monologue and express yourself with more compassion. Gentle words lead to powerful breakthroughs. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. So this is your fourth house. Now, this once in a lifetime conjunction is anchoring a long term cycle of emotional healing and spiritual foundation building. So you may begin to feel called to release ancestral patterns, reparent yourself, or literally move into a new house. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So you are taking action to rebuild your sense of security. This might involve boundary setting, financial decisions, or inner child work. So whatever you initiate now has the power to rewrite long-standing patterns of self-abandonment. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So old conversations, communication habits, or sibling dynamics may resurface. This retrograde is asking you to reflect on how you speak and whether those words honor your healing or your armor. Slow down and edit gently. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So again, this is around communication. So this brings a nudge toward using your voice as a tool of purpose. So writing, speaking, teaching, or sharing your story in some form could be part of your dharma. Don't wait until it's perfect. Start where you are and let truth be your compass. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to release the belief that your worth must be earned. The full moon in your eighth house is going to reveal where you've tied your value to sacrifice or suffering. This month is about reclaiming the truth that you are worthy without proving it. Next is to transform your relationship with receiving. The Aquarius eclipse in your second house starts a new chapter in how you relate to money, support, and self-worth. Open up to aligned abundance, not as something to chase, but as something to allow. Next is to rewrite the stories you tell yourself. With Pisces energy flowing through your third house, your inner voice is shifting. Use the Mercury retrograde to reframe your thoughts, forgive the past, and speak with softness, especially to yourself. finally, anchor into emotional security, not external approval. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction is helping you to build a spiritual foundation that doesn't depend on performance. Let your roots grow deeper than validation, and let your presence be enough. A great affirmation for you for this month is, I do not have to earn my worth. I am inherently valuable. I receive with trust, speak with grace, and build a life rooted in truth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hype this video, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you need to remember that you are the prize, be sure to grab my Venus Activation Journal. It's designed to rewire how you love yourself and what you expect in relationships. All of my offerings are linked below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Aquarius rising. So this month, your power lies in fully embodying the future self you've only glimpsed until now. This is your month of rebirth. You are shedding identities, voices, and value systems that never truly belonged to you. The universe is handing you the pen and asking, who do you choose to become now? February is about becoming the embodiment of your soul's future. Not performing, not pleasing, but finally being. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo happening in your 7th house. This full moon is illuminating the mirror of your life, relationships. So this could be romantic, business, or otherwise. Something is being reflected back to you now about who you've been and who you're no longer willing to be in connection. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces, your 2nd house. So your self-worth becomes the magnet with this energy. Venus here helps you to soften any scarcity narratives, recalibrate your relationship to receiving, and infuse your finances with faith. Money may come in magical ways, but only when you stop chasing and start allowing. On February 12th, the Sun in Aquarius makes a sextile to Chiron and Aries. So this is going to be across your 1st and 3rd houses. So with this energy, a soul truth wants to be spoken. You may be healing your voice, especially the version that stayed quiet to keep others comfortable. This is a green light to express without editing. Say what your future self needs to hear now. On February 16th, the Sun makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. So this can bring a shakeup at home, within family dynamics, or around emotional security. Don't fear the disruption. It's freeing you from old conditioning that kept you playing small. Liberation starts from within. On February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So, of course, this is a complete reboot for you. This is one of the most powerful personal reset points that you've had in years. A new self-concept, a new appearance, a new identity. It's all on the table. Be bold, be honest, and be who you've been afraid to be. On February 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So your focus again turns to embodiment. Worthiness becomes the lens through which everything flows, be it money, relationships, decisions, or your desires. Let this be the start of living like you already are the version of you you're waiting for. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. So this is happening in your third house. This is a karmic upgrade in your thinking, your voice, and your mental patterns. You are releasing old stories of doubt, shame, or silencing, and beginning a new era of sacred speech and visionary communication. The way you think and speak will shape your next chapter. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. So your courage is now in your healing. So whether it's a bold conversation, a creative expression, or an unapologetic truth, your willingness to act now becomes the medicine you've been seeking. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So, money talks, self worth scripts, and past value wounds resurface. This isn't regression, it's a review. Ask yourself, where have I undersold myself? Where have you overgiven out of fear? Rewrite the narrative. Anchor into sufficiency. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces. So, this brings a turning point in your relationship with abundance and value. What you invest in energetically, emotionally, and financially now determines who you become. You are being aligned with a path of soul rooted security. Don't settle. Rise. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redefine your identity from the inside out. The solar eclipse in your first house is your personal new year. Let go of roles that were born out of coping. Begin showing up as the version of you who doesn't need permission to exist. Next is to break free from outdated self-worth systems. The full moon and Pisces transits are asking you to examine where you've equated your value with productivity or performance. Release the metrics and realign with magnetism. Next is to speak the truth that sets you free. With Chiron and the Saturn and Neptune conjunction activating your third house, your voice is your revolution. So journal, teach, create, or simply speak what was once unspeakable. Your story matters. Finally, build a new foundation for abundance. The North Node conjunction is pointing to your next level of self-worth. Let your values, not your fears, be the blueprint. Every decision now is a seed for a future built on soul alignment. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I am no longer who I had to be to survive. I rise as my true self. My voice is my power. My worth is my foundation. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And if you love what you heard, be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, hype this video, and subscribe so the algorithm and the universe keep delivering. And if you're ready to reconnect with who you were before the world told you who to be, my As Above, So Within astrology prompt journal will bring you back to yourself. All of my links to my offerings are listed in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Pisces rising. So, this month, your power lies in becoming the embodiment of your divinely aligned future. February is a sacred metamorphosis. This is your season of identity reclamation, energetic cleansing, and radical rebirth. You are not who you were, and the universe is orchestrating a complete recalibration of how you see yourself, how you show up, and what you're willing to receive. This isn't about reinvention for visibility. It's about remembering who your soul came here to be and becoming it without apology. Starting on February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo activating your sixth house. So, this full moon is highlighting your relationship with work, wellness, and daily rhythm, but through a deeply spiritual lens. So, you may feel emotional about what no longer supports your energy. So, burnout, overgiving, people pleasing patterns, or anything that disrupts your sacred equilibrium is being revealed now. On February 10th, Venus enters Pisces. So, because this is in your first house, your aura is magnetic and your presence is undeniable. This is your spiritual glow up. Venus in your sign amplifies beauty, charm, and attraction. But the most potent effect is the softness it brings to your identity. So let yourself be seen. On February 12th, the sun in Aquarius makes a sextile to Chiron in Aries. So this is going to be across your 12th and 2nd houses. This brings a quiet but powerful healing energy, likely through rest, meditation, or spiritual reflection. So you may uncover a hidden belief about worthiness and finally choose to release it. This is about you remembering that being still is also an act of strength. On February 16th, the sun makes a square to Uranus. So expect a mental reset. A sudden insight, new information, or surprising conversation may disrupt your usual thought patterns. This is divine disruption. What you think you know is making space for deeper soul truth. On February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius in your 12th house. So, this is your karmic clearing. An old identity, subconscious wound, or ancestral imprint is being dissolved. You're not just closing a chapter, you're closing a lifetime. Let it leave. Let yourself be emptied. The real you is waiting on the other side. On February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. So your annual return begins. This is your season of soul embodiment. The light is on you now, so let it illuminate your truth. This is your invitation to begin fresh, not by changing who you are, but by fully inhabiting who you've always been. On February 20th, we have the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries happening in your 2nd house. This is a rare alignment that marks the beginning of a long-term restructuring of your value system. You are being asked to merge faith with form and dreams with discipline. You're anchoring into self-worth like never before, not as a concept, but as a lived reality. On February 22nd, Mars makes a sextile to Chiron. This is a breakthrough moment of action fueled by healing. So you may choose to invest in your growth, speak your worth, or move towards something that once felt too big to claim. On February 26th, Mercury retrograde begins in Pisces. So this brings a pause in your personal narrative. Revisit the stories you've told about who you are. You're being invited to rewrite them with compassion, clarity, and cosmic perspective. Your identity is not fixed, it's fluid and divinely guided. Finally, on February 27th, the Sun makes a conjunction with the North Node currently in Pisces. So, this is your destiny activation. Who you're becoming now is no accident. Trust the intuitive pulls. Trust your rebirth. You are aligning with a version of yourself that your past self couldn't even imagine, but your soul always knew. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to honor the power of your presence. Venus and the Sun in your first house want you to be seen, not for attention, but for alignment. Let yourself take up space. Your softness is power, and your authenticity is magnetism. Next is to release martyrdom and reclaim sacred service. The Leo full moon reminds you that overfunctioning is not sustainable. Let this be the month you trade depletion for devotion. Serve from overflow, not obligation. Next is to trust the invisible work. With Aquarius energy dominating your 12th house, deep healing is happening behind the scenes. You don't need to explain your process. You only need to honor it. And finally, build a life that reflects your worth, not your wounds. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction in your second house is asking you to stop trying to deserve your desires. You already do. Let your values guide your actions, and let self-respect set your standards. A great affirmation for you for the month of February is, I am the embodiment of my soul's becoming. I trust my path, I claim my worth, and I rise in alignment with my divine design. Be sure to let me know how the energy of February is showing up for you in the comments below. And if you love what you heard, be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, hype this video, and subscribe so the algorithm and the universe keep delivering. And if you feel like you're standing at a turning point in your life, a one-on-one with me will help you to understand exactly what's happening and where you're meant to go next. Plus, I have over 10 session types so you can zero in on what matters most to you. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.